Good morning. Welcome to Physics World. Today we discuss about chapter 10, stars and the solar system. You might wonder, by seeing the night sky, watching twinkling stars, sunrise, sunset, moon, etc. You might more wonder when you know that our ancestor measured day time period and night time period. How they measured? They did not have the technology like we have today. They did not have the scientific knowledge what we have today. Still, they were able to calculate at the time. Still, they were able to tell what type of time in the day and night and how the seasons are coming. So how it is possible? Once said, necessity is the mother of invention. Similarly, curiosity is the mother of knowledge. They were more curious to know the nature. They were more curious to know the cosmos. Cosmos means all this. You see the boat, sun, moon, stars, twinkling stars, Milky Way galaxy, our galaxy, Cat Eye galaxy, different galaxies, clusters. Cluster means collection of millions of stars. Galaxy is also a collection of millions of stars. But difference between cluster and Milky Way galaxy is, in a cluster you have so many galaxies. Milky Way means only one galaxy. And if you see here I have drawn a Milky Way galaxy in a bigger size. And here I am showing the galaxies in dots. What it means? That means, is that galaxies very small comparing to Milky Way? No. These galaxies are very, very large comparing to our Milky Way galaxy, but they are very, very far from us. That's why they're looking like small dots. The cluster, which is some million times bigger in size comparing to these galaxies, still I have shown in dots because it is also very, very far from us. And last but not least, our beloved planet, the blue planet, Earth, is the only planet where you can have life, where you can have water in liquid state. So all this combined is called as cosmos. That's why in physics we have got a branch to study all these cosmos, and the branch is called cosmology. So how all these things are happening? How ancestors were able to find the daytime and nighttime? How they measured? Everything we have to know. Of course, today we have so much of technology. With the technology, we are very easy to know all these things. Today in this chapter, we will discuss about the old methods as well as new methods and more about this cosmos. Then what do you wait for? Let us start this chapter. Okay, now the first activity, whether the sun is moving in the sky or not, we have to know. Every day in the morning when you get up from the bed, and if you see the sun, and we believe that sun is in the same place everywhere, every time, whole the year. But if you observe the position of the sun throughout the year with a specific scientific method, then you will reveal some secrets inside it. So what are those secrets? To know that, let us do an activity as I am explaining you now. So to understand the motion of the sun, observe the changes in the length of a shadow. Shadow, you know how the shadow appears. How does the shadow form? When you keep any object, when the light falls on the object, on the other side of the object, the shadow is formed. When you're standing on the road in the mid-afternoon, like 11 o'clock, 11:30, then what happens? The sun rays fall on you and you can see the shadow is with you. When you're walking, the shadow comes with you. So in that way, when a light falls on an object, you will have the shadow. Now, same principle will take here. to know the motion of the sun. So here if you see the board, there is a fencing. So where do you keep the fencing in real cases? You go to an open ground where you have full sun rays falling on the ground, so that no obstacles are there, no trees, no building which are obstructing the sun rays. So go to an open place, create a fencing like that, so that no person will come and disturb your experiment. Now take a stick and fix the stick in a vertical position into the ground. See that minimum one length of the stick is appearing from above the ground. So this is the diagram I am explaining here. Now what happens after fixing the stick to the ground in a vertical position? Now your experiment starts. Take the time duration from morning 9 a.m. to evening 4 p.m. Like they fix some time. This is one example I gave to you. So from 9 a.m. onwards, after fixing the stick, take a notebook and take some small stones or some you can say cones. When the sun rays fall on the stick, obviously shadow formed of the stick. Now say this is the shadow. This dots is the shadow of the stick at morning 9 o'clock. Now every 1 hour, like 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., every 1 hour, you observe the shadows and find the length of the shadow. How do you do? Earlier I told you, collect some pebbles or the stones or some cones. Suppose you have some stones. Now after the shadow is formed, keep a stone here. Take a 1 meter scale or a measuring tape and find the length between this end to this end. Say this end is A, this end is B. Find the length between AB and say that length AB at 9 a.m. Similarly, at 10 a.m., 11 a.m. So till 4 o'clock, you observe the shadows of the stick and take the length of the shadows. After finding the length of the shadows, draw a table. What type of table draw? Take the first column, timings, and the second column, length of the shadow. Length of the shadow. In the timings, you write 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. Now different lengths of the shadow. Once the table is created, this is a table created of the length of the shadows for 1 day. Say this is for day 1. Day 1. To get more accurate results, to have more understanding of the motion of the sun, don't stop the experiment in day 1. Repeat the experiment for a number of days, followed by day 1. Say second day, third day, fourth day. Like at least you do this experiment for 15 days and collect the data. Then you get a huge amount of data. The next step is what you have to do. Yes. The next step is you have to ask the questions. That at what time, take one particular day and ask yourself that at what time you get the longest shadow, the taller shadow. At what time you have the shorter shadow in a day. And again, you have to know that, you have asked the question that how the length of the shadows are changing, whether they're increasing or whether they're decreasing.